The tail cone. First off, how to make the tie down bar. I cut that down on the bandsaw and then had to tap the holes with a 3/8 by 1/16 inch tap. This actually wasn't too bad to do. Used some cutting oil and just took it nice and slow. Next, they have you clamp the tie down bar to this bulkhead assembly. I didn't show it here, but eventually you back drill through the bulkhead back into that tie down bar. Making the rudder cable angle from stock aluminum, made that, and along with a stiffener as well. You make these two pieces in preparation for the next bulkhead. Here the angle and the stiffener are clecoed to the bulkhead. The two ears you see sticking out of the top are the horizontal attachment bars. The horizontal stabilizer will eventually attach to the tail cone via these two bars. So far we have made two bulkheads. To make up the third bulkhead, I had to cut these stiffeners apart. Also had to make another aluminum angle. Once this is done, you clamp everything together and then back drill through the stiffeners into that aluminum angle. The fourth bulkhead is much easier. You just up drill the holes that are common to each other and then cleco it together for now. The little piece I'm adding right there is for the rudder cables, I believe. They get snap bushings later. Here are the 5 bulkheads. The 5th one is the biggest. It comes in several pieces. Not much work to do with that one either, other than just clecoing it together. And there might have been a few pieces I had to up drill, but overall pretty easy work. The stiffeners. Here I am measuring out different lengths of the stiffeners. There are around 7 different sizes that you need to cut out. After that, you need to trim each end off at around a 45-degree angle. This right here is a tool my dad made. You can adjust it to make center lines pretty easily. Each stiffener requires one center line on the surface that are facing the skins. The longer ones go down the entire length of the tail cone and require a notch cut out for the horizontal stabilizer attachment bars that were shown earlier. They also require being bent down 2 degrees.
Make sure you actually cut it.
If you can't tell, this was for demonstration purpose only. We'd already bent them, but we forgot to record it. You're looking at the bottom skin. Yes, the plane is upside down. The bulkheads get attached. Then you slide in the bottom stiffeners. You find the line that you had drawn on the stiffeners through the pre-drilled holes in the skin. You just drill through the skin into the stiffener and then cleco together. These 2 ribs will eventually support the battery box and the bell crank for the elevators. So you have 3 stiffeners for each side. You slide them into the pre-notched bulkheads with the center line that you made facing out. The side skin is then placed on. They have holes pre-drilled for the bulkheads and holes that are common to the bottom skin. I'm going to try to get lined up. Let's go to line several down, just so we get tacked all over there. And here Isaac is adjusting the bulkheads for me so the holes in the bulkhead and the side skin line up so I can cleco everything together. And like the bottom skin, you find the center line on the stiffener through the pre-drilled holes in the skin, you drill, and then you cleco. Here my wife is actually helping me line up the stiffener so I can drill the holes. I'm only doing every fourth hole for now, and then I'll go back and drill in between them later. You then flip it upright to do the other side, although I did not show it in this video. The process is exactly the same though. I figured before I close up the other side, I better cleco in my remaining bulkheads. Next, I place the rudder stop skin stiffeners. Wait for it. Boom. There they are. Here I'm just clecoing the baggage bulkhead channel. You don't really do much with this part until later when you join the fuselage halves together. And next I'm just cutting apart the bell crank rib angles. Some of these angles, they go on the two ribs that were in the front from earlier. Again, the battery box and bell crank, they rest on these two ribs here. They give strength, and they also provide attachment points for those two items. Eventually these angles will get some nut plates installed in them. Here I am positioning the longerons. There are notches in the bulkheads which make this piece fit like a shoe. If you look closely toward the tail end, you can see the bend we had made in it earlier. This spacer was cut out from raw stock and a center line was drawn on top. Here I am positioning it on top of the bulkhead. They don't want this part to move, so Vance suggests using carpet tape, so that's what I did. And this is the aft deck. This piece gets positioned before drilling the longerons to the side skin. The fit of the longeron was too good in some bulkheads. Before drilling into the bulkheads, I made the bulkhead notches slightly larger so they would not rub. The longerons are not pre-drilled. You need to square the aft fuselage, then clamp it down before drilling the longerons. You can see my clamps in the background. Each stiffener was previously only drilled to 3/32. Now you can up-drill the holes to number 40. There are a lot of holes. I guess this would make 6 bulkheads. You cleco and up-drill to number 30. In preparation for the top skin, they have you heavily flute some of the bulkheads. So that's what I did here. There are 3 top stiffeners. Same thing as the other stiffeners, center line facing out. Positioning the aft top skin. Matched holes in the skin and the bulkheads allow for direct clecoing. Finding the center line in the stiffeners, drilling, then clecoing. Positioning the front top skin. Again, matched hold makes it very easy. The top skin went right on, just like the aft top skin. Then I'm just drilling the holes for the front top stiffeners. Again, easy work, just a lot of holes. Now we get to drill the aft deck, making sure everything is square before drilling. With everything being matched hold, there is very little room for adjustment or error. Had to fabricate a few different angles from raw stock. This really wasn't hard to do. With these two pieces, you actually had to make your own holes in them first. Then you clamp them and drill them down. Here I am positioning and drilling the shoulder harness anchors. There's one on each side. This piece comes pre-drilled already. You just find the right spot and drill through the longerons. And this is drilling the aft fuselage inspection cover. Again, one on each side. Eventually, these will get nut plates put on them. Both front side skins have these triangular portions protruding. The instructions have you remove the right side only. You trim it off at a certain angle, and that's what I'm measuring here. Everything disassembled. Now it's time to deburr, dimple, countersink, and prime. The elevator bell crank and battery box assembly. Here you have to rivet quite a few nut plates on this piece here. And the battery channels just snap into place. Pretty cool actually. And the little cavity this creates is where the battery goes. And here's one of the bulkheads riveted together. And another bulkhead riveted together. Here nut plates are installed on the aft inspection panel. And another riveted bulkhead. Riveting the stiffeners to the bottom skin. I did this by back riveting. I was able to place the back rivet plate under a section of 3 rivets at a time and 3 rows at a time. So I could set a series of 9 rivets before needing to adjust my back plate. This seemed to work out pretty well. Next, I installed the bulkheads and the left side stiffeners. Again, I left 3 open holes between the clecos. I laid it on its side and was able to back rivet this as well. Here, the remaining bulkheads were installed along with the right side skin. I was able to back rivet most of these by laying it down on the back plate. There were some challenging rivets as the space became limited. So here I tried to back riveting with my wife holding the bucking bar. She normally doesn't like holding the bucking bar, nor did she here as well, so we switched positions. Working with your spouse is so much fun. She is such a trooper for dealing with me.
Okay, hold on. What you want? Oh, I don't see it's not easy. That's what you said. Hey, hold on. Can I push it down in easy? Can I push the pressure in? Alright. I need to have something to hold on to, you know?
Me too.
Okay.
Alright, I'm pushing hard.
Okay, me too.
Ready? How's it look?
Good?
Good?
I think so.
I mean, we're good. That's not a big deal. I got the power set a little bit higher.
Okay, next time, maybe not. Hang on,
So
try.
this just takes a
But don't change the power. We don't. You fool me. Okay?
Ready? At this point, we had riveted the side skins and the bulkheads. Now we are riveting the bottom of the side skin where it joins the actual bottom skin. By now, we went back to the normal riveting method. Not sure back riveting the side skin was beneficial or easier. Here I am showing that we riveted the side skin to the longerons around the aft deck. We just did the aft deck area only. Can't rivet the longerons anywhere else until the top skins are in place. The aft deck was riveted down along with a few angles. The aft deck is one place where countersunk rivets are not used. Here I am drilling through the horizontal stabilizer attach bar to the angle on the other side. These 2 holes will eventually get a bolt. Now it's time to install the top stiffeners in order to rivet on the aft top skin. In order to rivet the top skin, the tail cone had to be placed on the floor. I was the lucky one inside holding the bucking bar. A few days later that was finished. The front top skin doesn't get riveted on until fitting the forward fuselage assembly at a much later date. Here is the shoulder harness anchors that are bolted down in place. To conclude this section of the build, you assemble the elevator bell crank and battery box. This assembly attaches to the top of those two ribs in front of the fuselage. The support angles on the ribs have nut plates installed for attaching the bell crank and battery box.